Just like that, Ethan, here we are convening for the 50th episode of the Grunge Bible Podcast. I think that means we're getting close to our pension, so we can finally retire from this shit.
Grunge Bible is back. Haven't missed a beat. 50 weeks strong in a row. You're right. We're one step closer to retirement, Chris.
Yeah, we don't miss.
Yeah, we have no idea how long, it's like the song that never ends. Just goes on, my friends. And that can be Grunge Bible sometime. Now, we're getting into that. We're 50 episodes deep. We love talking about that shit. So we're going to do that a little bit more. What does that mean to you, Chris? What does 50 mean?
I don't know.
If you turn 50 years old in life, that's like,
they say you're over the hill. Then they say you're old and, you're going to retire soon. You're going to start forgetting stuff and you can't move around. But I still feel spry. I don't think the first 50 episodes have put a load on my back necessarily. So
yeah, if you had to kind of attach an age to 50 episodes, what would it be? Are we still in our 20s, or where are we at?
I don't know. I don't think we're in our 20s anymore. I think maybe like a crisp 31.
You think 32. We're in our 30s?
I think so.
Okay, nice.
Oh, what about you? I'm not like 22.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of I don't know what the average podcast or how many episodes they get through, but some people Cafaro, he's done hundreds, you know what I mean? Like he's way deep, and some people are hundreds, at least 250 and stuff.
And some people start, but some people skip, and then they
mess
out.
Yeah, they miss and mess up, and
they fade away.
I'm thinking right around quarter life, like 25 to 32. Okay. That's right. Probably is a good
seems
representation.
We're on the same page then.
I think so.
That's good. So how are you today, Ethan?
I'm doing well, Chris. It's we are recording this on a rainy Monday.
Rainy for you.
Yeah, rainy for me. And yeah, it was a low key weekend. I worked a little bit, but it was actually a free weekend. And I find myself when I have free weekends, I feel like they don't come around very often. And when they do, I kind of don't know what to do with myself. Yes. And I want to be really active, but I also want to rest. And I get really anxious. I feel like I wasted yesterday morning because I was paralyzed with what I wanted to do, how I wanted to spend my free time, and what was the best use. And I freaking hate that. I hate when I'm just trying to relax and I do this dumb thing where I'm trying to make the most of everything and do certain and try to be productive in every certain way. And I don't know why I can't just freaking relax and just sometimes Joe, it's just what the heck? I don't know how. I'm just come on, what are you doing? You get a free weekend. You don't need to be doing anything. But you're stressing yourself out. So, but it was a great. I didn't have to do anything. So no matter what, I had a really good day. After
That's good.
we got things rolling, and went and saw Jackass in theaters.
Very nice.
Which was awesome. And then the NBA All-Star Game. And I love Jackass. I don't know about you, but yeah, sometimes I find myself in that position where I'm just hold on, you need to just enjoy, being busy or not being busy, but
yeah, pick one, stick to it, and be where you are. No, I feel the same way. I've gotten a lot worse at that as I've gotten older. You work, 60-hour weeks or whatever, and you're training and all that stuff, and then you get to there's nothing to do, and there's nothing you have to do, which is a good thing, but you just sit there fuck, I gotta be doing something, and you feel guilty for sitting on the couch at 10:30 on a Saturday or a Sunday. I gotta put feet on the ground and start moving. But sometimes you just gotta take it easy. And I agree, it's difficult to do sometimes. But glad to hear today's a little bit feeling good, and you enjoyed some downtime.
Yeah, I think a lot of times it comes down to being in my house. Your house.
Yes.
Sometimes if you get stuck in your house. Yeah, you just got to get out, and not that I spend that much time in it. It's a weird dichotomy.
I feel that working from home, by the end of the day, certainly by the weekend, you wake up on Saturday and you're like, all right, I gotta get a scene change here real quick. See some different things.
How are you feeling this Monday?
I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, so we're recording this on Monday the 21st. This will be coming out on Friday of this week. And I was not doing well last week. I had a good week, after recording last week, a good weekend. I'll put it this way, Ethan. My tank is empty, but my cup is full. This was a fun weekend. Got together with some friends, spent some time with some family. Did some manual labor for the family, a little remodeling action going on. But yeah, this weekend had a little bit of everything. And then, yeah, I really can't complain. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, sometimes, like last week, I wasn't feeling the greatest. I was kind of in a little bit of a rut, but you try your best to stay the course and, take what you can get and leave the rest. And here we are. You fight on through. And yeah, I can't complain.
Something that will cheer you up, and I think you'll be happy to know this, that this is our last episode in the month of February.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God, dude.
This
Finally.
This is the worst month.
It's been the worst month. I'm glad we bring it up every week. It's just such a drag. I'm just ready to be done with it. And this is our last episode. Because then, whoever made the calendar, like we were talking about earlier, whoever made the calendar was smart to make this a shorter month than the rest. They're like, you know what?
They knew what they were doing.
We're going to chop off
month.
chop off a few days at the end of the month for the people.
It's the least they could do for us. I mean, you take it on the chin all month, and they're like, all right, we feel kind of bad, so we're gonna chop a couple days off and let you get a move on into March. And I'll tell you, man, the springtime cannot come soon enough. We're getting a little tickle of spring today here. It's in the upper 50s, 60s, and I noticed the sun is hanging around just a little bit longer each day, which is one of my favorite things. So I'm holding on to that and hoping that brighter days are coming.
It's like a long day of work or a long day of practice, and you have that one last thing, but then your teacher or coach is like, you know what, like we're cutting out early.
Yeah,
you guys can go. That's how when February ends. It's like,
teachers about to let us out of class a little bit early after just getting throttled by an exam.
Yeah, you're getting throttled all day.
Take what's left of your happiness and move on. But yeah, man, this is number 50, and we have some good news. Actually, we're able to ring the bell. I mean, It makes sense, it's episode 50, so we have to celebrate, and we had an individual who must have put two and two together and gave us another reason to be happy today. So I am happy to announce that we have a new patron, and this brings us to 40 patrons, the big 40 on the big 50. So
yeah.
Joining at the $5 level this week is Laura Schwegel. So we're very grateful for your contribution, Laura. We hope you're enjoying the show, you're enjoying the pages, and we're happy to have you here, as we are everybody here. So Laura is hopping in at the $5 level, and then our $10 top level Legion reads as follows, and we would like to thank today, as we do every day. We would like to thank Jerry Seinfeld, Kara Kay, The Blue Owl, Jade Mercado, Victor Schaefer, Release, Doug Endy, Wayne Staley, Rachel Corning, Millie, Alexis Shannon, Fuck Soup, What the Fuck's Up Denny's, Jamie Lynn, Kayla Jean, our number one fan from Australia, Marianne, Sonny Mashburn, Sue, Shannon Gorgone, and Laura Nyreen. So I think we've got 20 in the top level, and then we have 20 meandering throughout the other tiers. But we've got an even 40 on the Patreon train, which is pretty good. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's really good. I love when new people join in. We've had another good, consistent 2 weeks of adding people. So if you are listening and you want to hear your name read, or if you want to be a part of, we do give some exclusive content on Patreon, but mainly it's just a way to support us and for running the page and running this podcast. We have links in our bio, and you will be able to find them easily. And you can go and give $2 and get yourself a shitty cup of coffee, or
belly up to the bar,
or $10. Whatever you want to do. And we got some fun things coming, but that would be really helpful if you guys go there. But just listening is enough for us.
Absolutely.
At the start. But then, help us out sometime.
Yeah. You can't loiter in the restaurant without ordering something.
Yeah, that's right.
We won't kick anybody out.
So that brings us to the meat and potatoes, as we call it.
The main course, which today... It's been a little while since we've done a Q&A, and we don't have any rhyme or reason as to when we throw them in. I think we just kind of look at the episodes and the space in between, and then we just kind of decide that, all right, this feels like it's time. And it feels like it's time. It's been 7 or 8 weeks since we've done one. So for episode 50, we decided to go to the people and see what they want to know. And Ethan, I'm gonna start right off here, because this one was just recently submitted, actually. And we have an Instagram follower who wants to know, why do I feel a sexual bond between me and Grunge Bible?
I'm looking at it right now. I I mean, we've been talking about love songs a lot the last 2 weeks because of the dumb holiday that passed. I mean, there's a lot of, I don't know. I mean, we don't even post. Do you think they're talking about like Grunge Bible as like an entity?
I think as its own thing, because mind you, it's not Chris and Ethan. It's Grunge Bible.
I don't. Yeah, it's Grunge Bible. So it's like a community. It's kind of like a sexual bond, not even like a sexual attraction. It's like a.
I think it's an emotional. It's not physical.
No, yeah, it's a bond. It's like a. I don't know. How do you view that, Chris? What do you think?
I don't really know. I feel like it was just kind of one of those things that once it was asked, once it was submitted to us, it just kind of had to be aired out for everyone to hear. But I don't really know that I'm able. It's not a question. Well, it is a question, but it's not one that I have the answer to. So
yeah,
I don't know.
He says, "Why do I?" I mean, I want to ask him. I'd be like,
why do you?
What is the answer? Like,
can't read your mind. That's not
maybe
what
it's
business
like
we're in.
maybe it's like one of those things. Maybe one of us subconsciously. When you're younger and you say, like, all right, like if you're 40 and I'm 40 and neither of us are married, we need to get married. Maybe that's like the bond. Like,
could be one of those.
Grunge Bible is still running in 10 years.
We are consistent. We are reliable.
And they're still following. Maybe we have to get married to them or something. And I don't know. Maybe I don't know, man. It's a good question. We need the answer from this man.
Yeah, we do. We really do. Tough one.
Yeah, I don't even know what else to say about that. It's I'm kind of lost. But next question. Chris, who would win in a fight, Kurt or Lane?
Oh my goodness. So I think it kind of depends on what type of fight it is. Is this a sanctioned boxing match or mixed martial arts, or is this a street fight? What are we talking about here? Do we have? Is there any sort of governing body for this fight? I have to say my instinctive reaction is Lane.
Right.
I'm not really sure why. I know there was a point where Lane did punch someone in the crowd once. I'm not sure if I ever recall Kurt hopping in, getting to the mix Axl Rose style into the crowd. But
okay.
Yeah, I think Lane wins this one. I don't think it's a blowout. I think Lane would win. Just on major decision. I don't foresee any knockouts coming out, but
yeah.
I got to give the nod to Lane. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. I don't see Kurt as just a ruthless fighter. I mean, I think he'd get in there, but I don't think he's going to finish the job like Lane would. I don't really see those two as the top grunge fighters. I think that like Kim, Tyle, and I mean honestly, all of Soundgarden would probably be.
I would not want to see any member of Soundgarden, past or present, in an alley. I would not want to have them have any sort of score to settle with myself. I'm not coming out of that one looking like I do. If there was a round robin,
if there was like Gangs of New York, grunge style, where you had the big four, you had all of Soundgarden or all of Pearl Jam.
Soundgarden's winning. I don't even care.
Coming out on top. Yeah, they got
it doesn't matter that they would be outnumbered if they went up against Pearl Jam or, even if Nirvana was allowed to have Pat Smear and even the Brothers Meat. If they, you're not beating Soundgarden. I mean, you're not even beating Ben Shepherd on his own, in my opinion.
No, honestly, a few of those people on their own would be. I mean, you can say the same about Kim or Chris.
Yeah, I mean,
feel like
Kim,
Chris
it's scary.
Got the combat boots. Yeah. I mean, I'm picturing a crossroads and all bands coming together, and you got like Billy Corgan on the rooftop singing over top of it all, and then Radiohead's like in the parking garage, hiding or something.
Yeah, they're hanging out. They don't want any part of it. They gotta stay away. This kind of gleans off of that territory. We want to know which grunge frontman would do the best in a food challenge.
Food challenge. So, are we talking about eating, right? Or
we are
baking?
talking about eating.
I mean,
assume it's like a volume thing, like who can eat the most,
like Joey Chestnut style, like hot dogs.
Exactly, Kobayashi. Get some
grunge
of that going
frontman. Dang, so if you think of a mass quantity, I don't really see. No one really comes to mind between the four singers that I think would be really good at it.
I have to say I'm not impressed. I have to say
I think Novoselic could do something weird like that.
You think so? I think Jerry Cantrell would be able to do some damage.
All right.
I think he could.
What would be his forte?
That's
chicken wings.
Yeah. What type of food stuffs are we talking about? That's maybe chicken wings, but that's difficult. You have to have a good strategy down for how you're taking those suckers down. Hot dogs. Well, allegedly Jerry Cantrell was suffering from food poisoning at the Unplugged show because of a hot dog he ate that was not up to code apparently. So
damn
maybe
glizzies.
he wouldn't want to toe the line at a hot dog eating contest after that. So that's another one. I'm not really sure how to answer that one.
I think Novoselic or like probably Soundgarden. Some people, I feel like some of the Soundgarden, like any type of competition.
They're the blanket
guys,
answer for any sort of who could handle X. They would just be able to take care of it. So I don't know. That's an interesting one to think about.
If I would, could you, Chris? So
people ask that or submit that every single time we do a Q&A. Every single time we put the question box up, there's always between 10 and 35 references to wood, which I mean, we are recording this on a Monday, so it is fitting. This is the day that the flood begins anew. So I don't know. I mean, it changes with the day. You know, sometimes I could, sometimes I would, other times I just won't, and other times I just can't. So today I kind of lean towards not wanting to and not being able to. So sorry if that's upsetting.
So yeah, I think I could today.
Yeah.
I think. Would I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Even if you could, I don't think I would. So it's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
it's just not going to happen.
We'll have to check in next week and see if we can next week.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to include that as a part of the weekly check-in.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to include that. The next question I have, I think, is a very integral aspect of this type of activity, and as a seasoned concert goer yourself, and myself with a pretty good lineup upcoming here this spring, let's get your thoughts, Ethan, on the approach to pre-gaming a show, specifically pre-gaming in such a way that you don't have to use the restroom during the show and that you're able to be present. I mean, this is a classic situation of how closely can you walk next to the sun until you get burnt.
Oh man, I have been Icarus, Chris. I have flown too close to the sun many times. So without going into detail, I mean, I've done it all. I've not pre-gamed a show. I've pre-gamed too much, been thrown out of shows. I've been, I'll just leave it. I've been thrown out of shows.
Yep. Something you and I have in common.
Sometimes, I don't remember a lot of the show, but it depends for me. It all depends on the venue, what I'm dealing with. If I know the landscape, if it's how I got there, who I'm with, and what band I'm seeing. So
yes.
I hate to say that it's very like situational,
conditional.
But it is. Yeah, it is. If it's a show that I'm tagging along with somebody else, I think a good build up. Dude, it's tough though, because what about the openers? Like how much of the openers are you going to be in there for? Like how long is the show? Because if you're going just for the main act, like if you're skipping the first
then it doesn't matter. I mean, you can do whatever you want, get away with it.
Yeah, then you can have a little bit more liberty. Oh man, but then you have like the buying beers during the show, or like sometimes you have to. That's
just as much of a tolerance question as it is a financial question, because I mean they're getting you for $12 a beer, and sometimes they're not even tall boys, and I mean you got to sneak heaven
some,
forbid if you want a mixed drink or something, you're going to be paying $16-$18 for that thing, and
you got to sneak in a flask and sneak in some airplane shots. I mean, what's your I guess my rule of thumb will. I definitely, if I have the opportunity, I like to listen to music and kind of tailgate and have a few beers without any rush. Zone. Be able to enjoy it, and then right before the show, I will take down 2 or 3 or 4 pretty quickly because. Why not? And then hopefully it'll get me through the first half, and then by the second half I'll be able to kind of ride the wave and just if I need another pick me up, I'll have something in my pocket, or I can go to the back and get one, and then I'll just I can enjoy the second half of the show differently than the first. Yeah,
I would agree. I the more shows that I go to, the more of a fan I become of a nice targeted burst right beforehand, because you're not going to walk too close to the sun that way. It doesn't take a lot of time, and you go in with some assurance. You're like, all right, I'm going to feel good, and this is going to be the right amount. And you don't have the opportunity to be like, oh, well, maybe I should have some more. You know, then you end up walking too close to the sun. But I would say it very much depends on the act you're going to see. Like you said, whether or not you care about the openers or whether you know about the openers. But I always like to see the openers because sometimes you get some hidden gems, or you get you get some artists that you didn't know before. And it's been a while since I've gone to a show and I haven't taken away something positive from the opening acts. You know, there's a lot of good music out there, and I appreciate being able to go and give my attention to the opening acts, because I think a lot of times people either don't show up or they're talking, and I like to be present for that, and just take that in as a fan of music. So I like to certainly be well aware of what it is that I'm watching. So I try not to walk close at all to the sun these days, especially I have to drive a lot, usually about an hour each way to the show. So at that point you go in for the music and that's it. And you have a beer just as a prop for the show. I'm a big fan of the prop beer during the show. You gotta do something with your hands. Yeah, you gotta be holding on to something. You gotta be able to raise something, and you gotta be able to. Yeah, that's important. It's a good question. There's someone out there listening who has some sort of hack or some sort of secret strategy. I'd love to hear it, because
I think that maybe improve. Yeah, I'm thinking about kind of writing some stuff down and being more prepared next time. I might come in with a kind of a game plan of what maybe like a guide, or it'd be kind of fun. Or somebody could definitely make a really cool guide. Like, all right, if this band is like,
it's like a sliding scale.
Yeah, a 1
Proceed
to 5.
to step 3.
Yes. Like, oh, 20% of their discography. Well, that means you can get 70% drunk before the show. Oh wait, this much. You need to do it during the show. Yeah. There could be some fun
Please
analytics.
Pass go there. And collect $200.
And that's not even getting into other substances and stuff that
right. And maybe this is the reason why we have this show and this following, is we could really pioneer some sort of guide for this type of how to approach shows.
How to think about the festival talk you could get into. Oh, I mean, that's a whole different. So
I've never been to a festival at this point.
I haven't been to a traditional festival either.
No.
I've backed out of a few things that just didn't work. Like, for a lot of financially scheduling, and it's just always difficult for me. And I've never done like the camping and doing the whole 3-day thing. And I don't know. I need to.
It's tough.
It is. It's tough.
That's a true test of your strategy making ability, and also your discipline to stick to the preconceived strategy. I mean, that's once you get in there, man.
POA.
Yes, you have to have a plan of attack, which is we are well versed in that. That's interesting. We're gonna have to do some homework on this. I'm willing to go into the field and conduct some research. I do have 4 shows that I'm going to in the month of March. So
that was my next question. Was, I had wrote that down too, is what's on deck, Chris? What are you looking forward to? And maybe we can, honestly, maybe we can get into those concerts. How are you gonna feel for them? But I want to know where you're going, because I have a few lined up as well.
Absolutely. So March is going to be a busy month for me. So I am traveling at the beginning of the month to go see my brother, who lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. And then I'm returning back to the Northeast, and I have 2 concerts the following week. I'm seeing Lucy Dacus in Providence, Rhode Island, and then I'm seeing John Mayer in Boston, Massachusetts. And then right after that, I'm coming down to Alabama. We're gonna get together. We're gonna get the band back together for about 4 or 5 days. And then after that, I'll return, and I have 2 more shows. I am seeing Car Seat Headrest in Boston, Massachusetts, and then I close out this little mini run in March. I'm seeing Soccer Mommy in Providence, Rhode Island. Back-to-back nights, Car Seat Headrest and Soccer Mommy, as are Lucy Dacus and John Mayer. So I'm going to be burning the candle at every imaginable end for a solid 21 to 25 days.
Which show are you most excited for? Can you say?
I think it's Lucy Dacus, to be honest. I've seen Soccer Mommy before. It was fun. I've not seen John Mayer before, but I'm going to a large arena. It's like a 17,000 seat arena, and my seats they're up in the bleeds. I think it's got to be Lucy Dacus. I don't know what to expect about Car Seat Headrest. I'm not really sure what the clientele for that show is going to be, but I'm excited for it. I'm here to experience it. So if I had to power rank them, I think Lucy Dacus, John Mayer, Car Seat Headrest, and then Soccer Mommy, just because I've seen Soccer Mommy before and she hasn't put out any new music between my initial attendance and this show, but it'll be a good time anyways.
Any tickets that you put off buying, but once you feel like once you have a good window, you're like, yeah, I'll put, and just basically wait till you can rationalize a little better.
Yeah, I'm usually the opposite. If there's a chance that I'm going to want to go to a show, I just buy the ticket, because usually you're buying 3-4 months in advance. They're like, by the time the show comes, the 30, 40, 50 bucks you've spent is relatively insignificant. So usually you buy now and you figure it out later. You ask questions later, you dump them later. But yeah, all of these I've had purchased for quite a long time. And I just bought another ticket to go see a show in May, because you just showed me Tomberlin and her music, and I saw she just announced a tour and she's playing in Boston in May. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a ticket. It's like $15. I piss away $15 on stuff a lot less worse, significant than that.
Heck yeah. I was happy to hear that. That's such a steal of a concert. I wish
great.
She was coming
admission.
close. Yeah, I wish she was coming close to me so I could go see her. That's really good.
I'm excited for that.
Excited. I think I just have two. I just bought some tickets like 2 nights ago, actually.
Okay.
And some stuff just came out, but I have tickets to see Modest Mouse in April, which I'm very excited for. I'm nervous about it because we've talked about it before. Everybody knows our feeling toward the band, but they have a history with their live shows that can be, really good, hit or miss, really hit or miss. So I'm nervous, but I'm really excited. And then Rainbow Kitten Surprise, they have 2 dates in July here in Birmingham. And
nice.
I said that I've talked about I've talked about them and how good they are live. And I said I would always get tickets if they came back. It's kind of tough. I'm going to have to go back to Pennsylvania that same week. It's going to be pretty tight. But I bought the tickets because same thing, I can always sell them or do something.
I think you're good for it.
Yeah. And I have some friends that are going, and then also have some other friends that are going to Red Rocks and seeing them the next week. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I can't have like all of these people around me see them. I was like, I need to get tickets.
Yeah, you have to hop on the train too.
Yeah. So I got tickets. I'm really excited for them. They're phenomenal.
Very nice.
And then Oliver Tree is playing in Atlanta is the closest one. I'm really debating and trying to figure out if I can go to that. And then one other show that's pretty interesting, just because I saw Jackass, Steve-O is coming to Birmingham.
No way.
I don't know if you know this, but he's a very fascinating human being. I've watched obviously watched all the Jackass videos and then watched this documentary. Basically, he's just on drugs doing these tricks and stunts for like 30 years. And then he got completely sober, and he's been sober for like 20 years, I think.
Long time. Very, very impressive.
15, 20 years. And he totally, and watching the stuff that he does, I can't believe he's still alive and looks pretty healthy. Like he's done so many drugs. And so now he does stand-up comedy, but he like does stunts on stage, or he also one of the things is he I think that he skydives naked and this is pretty vulgar. I'm pretty positive he skydives naked and tries to get off, and then he talks about it on stage. I don't know, he they have a video and he commentates on himself doing a crazy stunt.
That is not something I want to tune into to hear about the progress of that attempt.
Yeah, and he just does I don't know. He just does random. He's a performer in so many ways. So I'm intrigued by the idea of him coming. I need to look into it a little bit more and see if anybody wants to go with me. But
yeah,
might have to.
Yeah, when in Rome.
Yeah. All right, back to the people and what they have to ask.
Back to the people. I have a good one here, and it's something that I spent a little bit of time thinking about, and I actually had a conversation about this recently. But the question is, do you think there will ever be a regional rock movement again? And I'm just going to jump right in. I think the internet gives and the internet takes away, because I think if something has any sort of legs within a region, it's going to travel very quickly because of the internet. And I think that thus takes away from the regional or the geographic constraints to a sort of movement. I mean, there's always underground factions, but I think, if we're comparing and contrasting how it used to be pre-internet versus now, I don't think it'll ever happen that way again. I mean, obviously everything's going to have a birthplace if there's some sort of stylistic sound or various parameters that become popular in an area. I just think things have legs a lot more easily because everybody's posting about everything, and it's a good thing because you spread your horizons that way. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there will ever be a traditional, this is the scene and it's just in this city in these 5 clubs where these 10 bands are playing all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just think about Seattle specifically and what it would have been like if the internet was how it is now. Would they have had the 2-3 years of build up before it kind of broke out, or they probably would have just kind of popcorned a few different bands that did, doing their things very similarly because of the influence, and it would have took the regional aspect away from it. So yeah, I agree. It would probably a lot harder nowadays to really get to a large, following, larger than, to make it substantial. Yeah. It's interesting though. I love that question. I love regional support. I just last week I was talking with Thomas Roller, the German javelin thrower, and he talked about regional sponsors because they're very, in Europe the countries are a lot smaller than the U.S. So certainly it's viewed. I mean, same as states, but it's hearing him talk about the regional and how things are operated. It was pretty unique and it was pretty cool, and it made me think a lot more. I've been thinking about that a lot more lately.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing because, that's how perspectives are shared. That's how different techniques or different abilities are shared. And I just think that aspect of community, just because it can reach further, I don't think makes it any less genuine. If people are in it for the right reasons and if people are supporting one another and just being open to what different people are creating, I think it's a cool thing. I don't think... not once have I ever been one of those people who's like, oh, if I could go back in a second, I would. I think the internet and the connectivity it brings in the modern era does more good than it does harm. But it's like any technology. You're given this thing and there's no guidebook on how to use it, and you can just as easily use it for good as you can for bad. So it's up to the individual, which we've obviously seen it used for good and we've seen it used for bad. So I guess it's up to you whether you want it to be good, whether you want it to be genuine. But I don't know. It just goes, it also kind of stems into the thought of, will rock bands and rock music become a musical focus again? And I think, things come back around. Things always come back around.
Full circle. Yeah.
Full circle.
Always full circle. It's all chance.
It's all chance, man. You don't realize that until you do.
Yeah, and then once you realize it, you can't go back.
You can't go back.
Chris, question coming from Metamot. Do you come from Seattle?
I've never been to Seattle. You've also never been to Seattle.
What's the closest you've been to Seattle?
Not close. Palo Alto, California. That's not really close. I haven't been to Oregon. I haven't been to Montana. I haven't been to Washington State, not Alaska. I haven't been to British Columbia. Not close. Never been.
Not even close.
That's it.
I'm not from Seattle either, but I have been. I was there last summer.
You have been. Cool. That's right. Yeah, I forgot. Wow.
Yeah. Had some Rainier beer.
I need to get there.
Yeah.
It's not on the agenda right now though. Maybe one day.
Yeah. Good question.
Good question. Here's another one. Oh, so there are 2 questions that are kind of similar. And the first one right here wants to know, they want to know, is it bad to get quote unquote stuck in the 90s grunge era? I'm 21 and I love the music, but my friends don't. And no, I don't think that's bad. You listen to whatever you want to listen to. There's no such thing as getting stuck because it's just where you choose to spend your time. If you're enjoying it, it's certainly not a destructive thing. If your friends are giving you shit for staying in one genre for too long, fuck that. I mean, do what you want. And that kind of leads into this other question. What is more annoying, the posers or the elitists?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question.
I know where I stand on this. I'm about ready for a soapbox rant here.
Yeah, I was gonna quick touch on the first question.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that if you're 21, I don't think you can be stuck on.
No, you're young.
Definitely not. Yeah, definitely not stuck on it. Especially
because we can't be stuck, and we're 5-6 years older than that. So if we can't be stuck, you
yeah, and I don't think that. I mean, and it's also something. I mean, it's when we weren't alive for. So I mean, I think being stuck on something would be like, I don't know, the first thing that you grew up with and that time and place. But I don't think so. I think that it's kind of nice to have a different liking than your friends, because that means you get to enjoy. You have the opportunity to enjoy what they're saying, what they're liking, and maybe show them something new. And that's music discovery. So
exactly.
I don't think that you're ever really stuck on stuff. Like you said, if you're there on purpose, you're not stuck.
Exactly. You're the captain.
So the elitists versus the posers. This is cool.
The battle to end all battles.
Oh my gosh. I'm just thinking like, who do I dislike more? I guess I had to both degrees can be irritating. Man, I think that I get irritated with posers a little bit more.
Oh, shit.
I think I do than elitists.
Break my heart.
Because a lot of times, like, I'm just thinking about like Tool and their elitist fans, and like, I just don't understand. I think you said something. You texted me the other day, and you're just like, I was like, I don't get it, but they do, and I'm okay with that. and like, unless they're like calling me a poser for also liking it, but if like somebody is being like much better, like, it's I don't know, that's their prerogative, and I don't get it, so I'm glad someone does. But maybe like posers, I guess, can get on my nerves if it doesn't quite. I don't know. It depends how I feel about it. I feel like the problem is the posers only irritate me if I'm an elitist in it or something like that. Basically, like with coffee.
Whichever group you're in the scenario, you don't like the other group.
Yeah, I would say if I'm in the middle, like jam band, like if I'm like
I don't both.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. But how about you, Chris? I know so
I'm gonna say the difference in our answers is going to be almost entirely informed by the fact that I probably spend most of the time patrolling the comments on Grunge Bible, especially relative to the time that you might spend there. I fucking hate the music elitists. I can't stand them, and I'll even go as far to wager and to say that I don't really think there are posers. I don't think that's a thing. I don't give a shit that there's 14-year-olds out there wearing Nirvana smiley face shirts that don't know who Chris Novoselic is. I don't care. I really don't care. What I care about is I fucking hate the people that are like, oh, you can't do that, or you can't listen to this, you can't like this, you weren't alive. Mm-hmm. It's not that serious, man. There's so many people.
I do hate when people ask. I mean, I hate when people like someone asks, "Hey, what song is this?" And it's Black Hole Sun or something, and somebody's like, "Really?" And they comment,
like, "How do you not know that?" I was like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. There was a time where you didn't know that either.
The kid might be 10 years old. I don't know. Like, there's probably a reason that they don't.
It's one of those things that I think we all at one point or another had an experience in our lives where somebody somewhere along the line made us feel embarrassed because we didn't know something about something. Why do you want to make other people feel like that? I mean, I remember being a kid, like about something, whatever. Somebody was like, "Oh, you don't know what that is, do you?" And it's not fun to be in that position. So why put other people in that position? Instead, share your fandom with them, share your excitement, because even if they're feigning excitement about it, who knows? Maybe you'll trick them and they'll actually like it after a while. Just be nice to people. It's not fucking hard. Not hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I stand on
when
that.
people get ugly with it, that's no fun. That takes away a lot of the joy.
Really
I agree with that. The gatekeeping side of music.
Yeah, it's no good.
Oh, it always comes up. Yeah,
it's no good. We don't
Chris,
spend time in that.
Do you have an
area.
opinion on 311?
No. The only thing, my only
I know that
opinion
the
on
date
them,
is coming up soon, and we had
yes,
to post them.
so I post them. I post them only on March the 11th, and I forget what their most popular song is.
Amber.
That's the one that I post.
It's the song I hate the most by them.
Yeah, that's the one that I post every year.
I hate that you post it every year.
Yeah,
I hate that song.
So I don't.
I do like the band. They got a lot of good stuff, but that's
okay. Well, that's the thing. I'm not. I think I know their song "From Chaos." That's the only other 311 song I know. My opinion on them is just it's uninformed. So I don't love it. But I think let's put it this way: there's a reason why I haven't spent time listening to them. Because I've been aware of them for a long time, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just a liar. Maybe I gotta give them a shot.
Oh man, that's good.
It sounds like you have an opinion on 311.
Yeah, I grew up. I hated that song from the first time I heard it. It was overplayed on the radio, and I really hated it. But I did get more into the genre of kind of reggae rock and like ska. And I listen to their other stuff, and their other stuff is pretty good. I like, Beautiful Disaster is really good, and they have some really cool stuff. That one. Yeah, they have some cool stuff. I just can't stand that song. Yeah. So at 311, they're good. They're cool, but I am jaded because of that. I don't know why. It's just some songs you just can't get over the hump of. Like I don't understand. It takes a while sometimes. Yeah, like I wish that you could really. You can hide songs on Spotify, I think on playlists, but not actually like.
Right, I think you can thumb them down or something. Or
I don't. Can you still thumb down? I don't know. I
used to be able to do that.
I wish I had more capability to shut out songs in
you
Spotify.
Can separate. You don't want anything to do with them.
I want to be able to delete them from my profile and.
You want nothing to do with them. This question right here kind of tickles my fancy a little bit. But I'm not quite sure that I have the bandwidth at this point. But someone wants to know, is grunge a sound or is it a state of mind?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, this is tough when if you feel like you don't have the bandwidth. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say grunge is a sound. I'm just gonna go. I think because I think maybe the state of mind may be a little more elaborate. I think the sound I do like. I mean, Mudhoney is a band that is grunge, and they are a very distinct sound. So grunge is Mudhoney sound. Period.
That's great.
Know. What do you think?
I think it's neither. I think grunge is a flannel shirt that you bought for $75 from JCPenney.
Damn, $75 from JCPenney? I didn't know these things
We're
mixed.
all posers and sellouts. We might as well own it. No, I don't know. I think it's a sound created by the members of Mudhoney.
Yeah, I mean, like, I try to think like, oh, that's so grunge. That's not even.
I don't like getting into the genre as a state of mind because it already sounds a little too gatekeepy to me.
State of mind is a weird way to put it. Maybe
because then that means it's something that encompasses your daily action, right?
Yeah,
it's
like
a
the way you
headspace
think,
that you occupy.
The way you think, yeah. Like I know when people's like, oh, that's really grunge of you to be dirty or something. Like,
not shower.
That's not really like that's not like a state of mind. That's just like
it's just a choice.
What kind of like your decision like I don't know.
I don't know.
Tough to call.
I guess it's a sound. Yeah, I can't call it for you.
It's Mudhoney.
Yeah, but you already knew that if you've been listening to this podcast.
Let's see, Chris, if you could bring back any artist from the grave. Who would you bring back? Any artist. So
any artist.
It doesn't need to be.
I'm not confined to grunge, which is great.
And we'll say that they come back for a day. You have 24 hours.
You just get one day with them?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really specify, so I'm going to make the parameters. Okay. You get a day. You have 24 hours. You can make your piece, ask any questions. They're going to be very cooperative. They can put on a show, whatever. And then when the 24 hours go by, you guys are going to shake hands, and then they're going to leave your life. So basically, it's having dinner with a famous person, I guess. Right. But it's like an extended version of that. Because
that's the thing. I think it becomes a very different process to figure it out, whether it's who do you get to see live or who do you get to see to spend a day with this person.
John Lennon.
I'm inclined to choose someone who's not an asshole like John Lennon. I mean, I'm not bringing him back anytime soon. If I had to bring back, well, two of them are still living, but I mean, it's a no-brainer. I'm bringing back George 100 times over before I bring back John. I just think, I mean, George was so inquisitive, I think, and so quiet, but I don't know if he's my pick. I'm inclined to think about bringing back Alan Wilson from Canned Heat, the Blind Owl. I'm inclined to think about him. I'm inclined to think about Jimi Hendrix, obviously. But yeah, this is a tough question. It's really tough.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you could go even deeper and you want to bring back Robert Johnson, the old blues man who made the deal with the devil at the crossroads. Maybe I'll bring him back, find out if he really made that deal or not.
Yeah, holy shit. Townes Van Zandt.
Townes would be a good one. Wow. You know what? I think I might bring back Townes Van Zandt.
Yeah, I think that'd be really good. I'm even thinking about, like, I know this is kind of branching off a little bit, but like I would really love to talk to Robin Williams and have him here for a day.
Yeah.
And Chris Farley. I know it's kind of moving into actors, but like, you just think about people that have passed away.
Interesting people.
Yeah, interesting people. Exactly. Obviously, I mean, it would be cool to have Kurt back for a day and to talk and hear him and stuff. But there's other guys.
Andrew Wood would be
really, really good. Yeah, man.
I guess my answer is not John Lennon.
Yeah, no.
Bring back someone else. It'll be all right.
Bring back Prince.
It's a good one. Tom Petty too.
Yeah. Tom Petty. You saw Tom Petty.
I did see Tom Petty.
That's pretty awesome.
A couple of months before he died. It was very awesome. Yeah, that was a really good show. That's a tough question, because there's not even one line of thinking that could inform my potential answer. But I love questions like that to think about. I love spending large amounts of time trying to solve questions that really have no answer.
Yeah. So these have all been really interesting questions. I hope we've done a good job answering them, having some fun with it. We got one last question. This one is submitted by me, Chris. I want to know, because I was thinking about it earlier and we've talked about it a little bit, but what constitutes good taste in music? And this could be...
I love this question.
Yeah, like when you because there are people that when I say have good taste, you immediately think of like, I don't know, 4 or 5 people. You're like, yeah, they have good taste. I trust them. So why do you trust these people with their taste in music? What does that mean?
I think there's 2 components that I think have to be there, and then everything else, there's probably 100 different ways to get to having good taste. But I think number 1, you have to be passionate about music. And number 2, and this is the most important, I think you have to have an open mind in terms of, I don't really think you can go into something saying, I don't like this type of music, because I think most people, because just thinking anecdotally of like you said, I have 4 or 5 people that I value, for example, when they share music on their Instagram story and I'll click on it, or I will send music back and forth and we'll chat about it. They spend a lot of time in a lot of different musical areas and they're clearly passionate about it. And I think you just can't be afraid to go into places musically where you don't know a lot of stuff. I think that's what constitutes it. And something when we interviewed Eric Lederman, he said that stuck with me. He said, if someone has good taste in music, it doesn't mean that you like everything that they share, but they can share something that you don't like, but you can still recognize that they just have good taste. So I don't know. I think it starts with those 2 things, and I think after that it's just time. You just spend time finding out different things that you like and exploring it, and not in terms of because you need to know a lot, but just because you just spend time because it's something that you're passionate about. And I think we all devote time to our passions. So I think that's kind of what it is for me. It's passion and an open mind. If you have both of those things, over time, you're going to develop a really, really good and interesting taste that you'll be able to enrich your life with and share with others that also have those components. So what about you? Where does your thought process lead you on this?
So I think that the people that I believe have good taste, every time I talk to them, it's like they listen to music, and what they do is well, one, they usually listen thoroughly, so they'll listen to an album fully through, and then they don't just say they like music, but they go like, this is why. They always have a reason, so they always kind of like dig deeper. So they're very thorough in their listens, and then they have a reasoning, one way or another, and just kind of like searching for those reasons allow you to understand and appreciate things more.
Certainly.
So I think that the main thing is that they're really thorough, and they can kind of go through, and they've listened to a lot of music. They put their time in, and I think that when I think that somebody the follow up is like, what does bad taste mean? I think that the follow up is like, not like a shallow listen to certain aspects in music and like in the art can be. It's just you're not getting the whole picture, and it doesn't allow you to maybe get there with certain bands and certain songs for no other reason than you just haven't spent enough time there or spent enough time with the lyrics and the sound. So I think the main thing is, like you said, passion, and then just having time with the music. So, which makes sense, because I guess saying that somebody's has good taste in music is kind of like saying they're musically intelligent. It's like, it's basically saying that and be like,
they're well-read in a way.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're a historian within the music genre. So, yeah, that would be my main thing. Like, usually people that like you or my other couple friends, or hopefully me for you, like, you just know that we've listened to a good amount of music, and
absolutely
we have good stuff to compare it to.
Yeah, definitely. That's a really good question, and honestly, I think out of anything that anyone could ever compliment me on this earth, someone tells you have good taste in music.
Yes,
that's always really, really makes me smile. Speaking of which, another thing that makes me smile. So we've gotten 2 messages over the last couple of weeks, and they both said virtually the same thing. And in my opinion, this is the greatest compliment that you and I could both get, but as a result of choosing to do this show. And we had 2 people reach out to us and basically thank us for doing the show, and basically just say that when they're listening to the show, they feel like they're listening to their friends chat about music, and we're all just having a conversation. That really made me smile. Just the thought of people that we don't know in real life. They don't have any prior allegiance to us. We didn't grow up with them or anything, and they can plug into this show and listen, and they feel like we're all chatting amongst friends, because I go into that hoping that that's what people feel like, and it's cool for people to tell us. So it made me smile.
It is. We love getting those messages. I do agree. Getting that compliment of, like, just listening to you guys, the time goes by fast. It's just good conversation. Yeah. I think that we both kind of put value in, like, our ability to.
That's what matters to me.
Enjoy conversation. Yeah, exactly. It's what matters. It's what we enjoy the most in this life, I think. Yeah. So that's really exciting. And
we're all trying to fill up one another's cups, because we cannot fill our cups completely ourselves.
Right.
We're on a mission.
That's good. So I think
Absolutely.
that might take us to the end of the Q&A for today.
Lid on that. Yeah.
We're coming up to an hour, so we have our songs of the week that we need to get to before we sign off for the last time in February. Thank God.
Thank the Lord. He's out there.
If we're doing songs of the week this week, let me pull up my most recent. See what. Oh yeah, this is I know. I'll go first. Yeah, I know.
I always appreciate how you do the song of the week in real time, because I freak out about it about 5 minutes before we start, and then I decide on one, and then you're just like, screw it, man. I'll figure it out at the time. So
it's pretty. Yeah, I mean, I sometimes I know before, but usually, like I said, this is the most accurate thing, because as I listen during the week, I heart certain songs, and I don't heart a lot of songs, but I know when I need to heart them. You know what I mean? Like,
when you know,
because I don't. You're more of a playlist guy, so I think rather than like songs, you put them into a playlist, certain playlist. Yes, that's what
I do. So I consult my most recent playlist for song of the week.
And I'm kind of the opposite. I don't really make the playlist. I just like things. So my big like list is like 600 songs, but it's
just a big old playlist. That's
a good list, and I can bounce. Yeah. So anyway, so this one we've been we've been listening to this guy for a couple of months, but I think recently we've had another kind of awakening, and the song is Microwave Dinner by PD. And this song just rocks. He's an artist. I'm actually not sure where he's from, but he's like a comedian on like Instagram, but he has this like kind of emo, punk alternative rock band where it's very synth based, and it's kind of poems and kind of, that pragmatic
like a stream of
lyric.
Consciousness type thing going on.
Yeah, it's just like a diary and just very real lyrics and just kind of stream of consciousness. And we've texted about it a few times, and this song Microwave Dinner is, I don't know, just a great song. They always have really nice builds, and they just kind of are really lyrically stimulating. And we enjoyed a couple conversations this week, and it's totally worth a listen. So yeah, I'm gonna put it on the list.
That is incredible. And if you're watching on YouTube, as soon as Ethan said that, I had a big old smile on my face because my song of the week is also Microwave Dinner by Petey.
Let's
Ethan,
go.
And this ties in perfectly to the last question that we talked about is, what constitutes good taste? Because you're right at the forefront for me in terms of friends that I have and people that I know that I view as having good taste, and I value their suggestions and what they're listening to. And this was a suggestion on your part, Petey's Lean Into Life album, and I span it a few times front to back, and Microwave Dinner was the one that popped right out at me. And I just love how there's within one song, it can sound so different at points, and it's a little rough around the edges. He's not afraid to be rough around the edges with his vocal delivery, and the writing is just, I'm a sucker for
Right.
lyricism and poetry and rhetoric. And oh man, this one's just so great. Microwave Dinner, talking about, who do you want to be? You're sitting there and you have to decide what path you're going to take. And there's earlier on in the song, I don't even know what stanza or verse it's in, but
it's like all one verse,
Yeah, exactly. It's just one verse. It's life. It's just who you are. And as with this song, every listen I was picking out a different part, and it would just make my jaw drop. And then most recently, it was towards the beginning of the song, and the lyrics are, "Yeah, I guess I'm just a bit of a goofball, but we don't joke around like we used to. It's hard to have a laugh when you feel the truth, when you feel another path laid in front of you." And I think Petey is similar to our age, late 20s and mid 20s, late 20s. And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of paths in front of you, and it's tough. It's tough to choose. It's tough to know which is the right one. And that lyric really made me think of a Neil Young lyric in his song "Comes a Time," and his lyric is, "Ain't it funny how you feel when you're finding out it's real?" And there's just that overarching theme that, any song that discusses that, I think, because I'm around that age where you've decided at least partially who you want to be, and now's the time you got to start putting your chips on the table to try to get there. And it's for real. You're playing for keeps nowadays, and who do you want to be? You wake up every day, and you closer, you further away, and you're always traveling in one direction, either closer or further away. And this song really just kind of drove that home again in the best way possible, and the whole album really. But Petey is cooking up some good stuff. I'm happy I know his music.
Later in the song, one of my favorite lines and just the thought process is like, he says, "Have you ever told a lie just for the hell of it?" And then nothing important, just some inconsequential shit. And he talks about it. It's like, yeah, I don't know why we do this. I think life gets pretty hard sometimes, and we lie to get through it. And it's just, I don't know. It's just so funny. It's like, I can just see like sitting there talking with somebody when you're young. Like, have you ever told a lie? And it's like, well, not really. Just like, maybe change the date or change the name of something. Like, it's like, why? Why I would do that? And, those types of, it's just like real life conversations, real life thoughts that you can take and go so many different ways. Like you talked about the paths and how it's a stream of consciousness. It's like kind of, these are just his songs that has like checkpoints or has like starting blocks for like some conversation and thoughts. And
yeah,
man, I love that.
And I think part of this song in particular, that hit me was, it's not like there's one path that we all want and then there's 50 others that we don't want. We simultaneously, I think, are always wanting what is down several different paths, but you can't go to all of them. You can't go to one. If you travel closer to one, you're going to go further away from the other. And this song really captures that feeling, I think, for me. And I don't know, at risk of sounding too philosophical, speaking about this song, it's a good one to listen. And
right.
I think if you can have an open mind about how, I guess, abrasive it sounds at times, Petey's music, I mean, it's really, really, really good. He's been one of my favorites for the last week, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So this is a first, Ethan. This is the first time we've had Song of the Week be the same song, and I love the song so much I'm not going to change it. This is my Song of the Week. Do I put it on
twice? Do I put the song on twice?
I think we might have to. Fuck it. Yeah, let's put it on twice.
It'll be on there twice, so
the people know. So yeah, that is I hate to give homework here, but 50 episodes in, I'd like to give that as a homework assignment to listen to this song and see what you think. If you like it, if you don't like it. But we liked it, and we sure hope you do as well. Just as we sure hope you enjoy this episode that we just laid out in front of you. This is our 50th one, and
we're very happy.
It's good stuff.
We're very happy to be doing this. Again, we want to thank all of our listeners. If you listen on Spotify, Apple, wherever you find your podcasts, we're very appreciative. Leave a comment or a review if possible. That helps the algorithm, helps get the word out, keeps the buzz around the Grunge Bible Podcast.
Zuck well fed.
That's right. And of course, we can't go by without thanking our wonderful producer, Drew McFadden. He does a good job. A really good job, and that's why
really good job.
I mean, he's the reason that we're still doing this, because if we had to do all this, we definitely would have missed a week.
If we had to do all of this, we wouldn't have done all of this.
It would have been the age-old question.
We neither could or would.
It would be the age-old question. You got to kill us or shut the fuck up, and we decided to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we would have shut the fuck up. So thanks to Drew for allowing us to enter the game and for keeping us in the game. It's a very, very important aspect of this, more important than any of our thoughts or opinions that we decide to share with you.
So we will be back next week for the first episode of March. We cannot wait. We're going to be in such better spirits. And, we're, just because February's done. So
getting ready to celebrate the Grunge Bible Podcast's first birthday.
It's coming up
soon.
Can't wait.
I can't wait. I'm excited for that. That's another thing I'm looking forward to in March. So wherever you are, I hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoyed the last hour of your time. Thank you for inviting us into your spaces, wherever they may be. And we look forward to chatting with you on episode 51 next week. But until then, take care, enjoy rock and roll, stay heavy, do whatever you got to do, man. Let's fill up each other's cups.
Yes.
Let's
take
fill
it
them
easy,
up.
guys. See ya.
Be well.